Hello and welcome back to the channel. So a while ago I did a video on beating the game with the bow of light only, and in it I asked you guys to prove me wrong that Thunderblight could be beaten with the bow of light only. And you guys really stepped up to the plate. There were a lot of suggestions, so many that I decided to make a video cataloging all of them and ranking which ones work, which ones don't, and how easy they were to do. So here you go, here are your suggestions for how to beat Thunderblight Ganon with the bow of light only. And one last quick thing right before we begin, I think in the original video I mentioned no glitches, but there was a lot of suggestions that included glitches, so I decided to include them. The only solid rule is that no damage can be done to Thunderblight by any other means besides the bow of light. Anyway, here we go. So the first idea that I tried, and probably the one that was suggested the most, was bullet time. When I first tested it, I tried bomb arrows in bullet time, and unfortunately that did not work. He deflected all of the arrows that came at him. So I decided to try stasising him with bomb arrows. Earlier when I had live streamed this, I found that stasis plus bullet time and bomb arrows didn't work and that he still deflected it all. So that's what I was expecting when it came time to record, but I was completely surprised because it worked. So let's mark this one down as plausible. So because bomb arrows worked, I decided to see if the bow of light would work in stasis and bullet time, but unfortunately the bow of light just wasn't strong enough to break the shield. I even tried going behind him in bullet time and shooting him in the back with the bow of light, but he flips around immediately and blocks all of the arrow shots. The next idea that I tried was just the normal rune bombs. However, unfortunately, they were not strong enough to break Ganon's shield. The next idea I wanted to try was magnesising an object and swinging it into him. I mean, this works for the Hinox in the Master Sword trials. It could work here, right? Well, unfortunately not. Whenever you magnesis an object and swing it into him, it just kind of bounces off of him and does nothing. Another idea that was presented during the stream was to leave the room and then shoot Ganon as it respawns. Whenever you leave the main room of the Divine Beast, the Blighted Ganon inside despawns, and when you go back into the room, he respawns, so we decided to see if he was vulnerable during that brief period of fading in. But unfortunately, he is not solid until he starts teleporting, and every arrow goes right through him, so sadly this does not work. Another suggestion that I got was to parry the attack with either your shield or Daruk's protection, and during the first phase this is actually a very useful tactic. You're able to parry its attack and then thread one arrow in before it teleports back. However, this is slightly problematic when you get to phase 2 because there's no attack to parry there. So during the livestream, somebody suggested stabbing him in the air. In order to test this, I flew to the top of the Divine Beast using Revali's Gale, because spicy foods and wood does not give an updraft in a Divine Beast, surprisingly. Then just hover over top of him and press Y to do the mid-air attack, and if you lined it up correctly, you should collide with Ganon on the way down. I suggest using a two-handed sword for this, as the hitbox is much bigger, but it does work with a one-handed sword. When you hit Ganon, the shield breaks on impact, and surprisingly, he does not reform his shield for quite a while. And in fact, he never enters phase 3 unless he gets stunned out of the air and falls to the ground. And the last idea that I tested for this video was bow spinning. During the live stream, I found that yes, it does actually work, and that Ganon's shield can be broken by it. So when it came time to record, I got confused again because it didn't work this time. I don't know if it was something to do with the Thunderblade being used the first time and not the second time, but whatever it was, it worked once but not again, so we're going to label it as plausible. So that was your guys' ideas that I could test before recording the footage. If there was any ideas that I missed, comment them down below. I may come back to this and do a part 2 video for it. But anyway, as always, like, comment, subscribe, share, and all that jazz that the good YouTubers say, and I shall see you all in the next video. Take care.